Hi friends, today we are going to discuss another design pattern called deep monitoring pattern. Now this is not a well documented pattern that you might find at any place. This is something that comprises the points that I have gone through my career and what are the different ways in which you should think about monitoring in the systems and how it is going to improve your system stability and scalability as well. So before understanding what deep monitoring pattern is, first of all, let's understand what monitoring actually is. Let's say you have some application in which you are doing some piece of work. For example, this is your application which is doing something and you are getting request on your application or some work is being done. Then all is well and good on a good day. But to ensure that your application runs perfectly fine 24 by 7, 365, we have to collect some metrics for this application. And these metrics are going to comprise multiple things. There are different level of granularity of metrics that you will need. Metrics are basically data points that you collect after a small period of time. For example, they say there can be CPU, memory, network, in and out, in and out, and you can also collect a disk usage. Now these are instance level metrics. They help you ensure that your instance is running perfectly fine. These values, so you will have some sidecar application which will collect your CPU, memory, network, and system level metrics, and it will send it to some your monitoring database. So it can be Prometheus or it can be InfluxDB or anything. And this scraping software can be Telegraph or it can be Datadog. It can be anything, right? Datadog is a proprietary software. Telegraph is a Datadog consists of, this is basically an agent. Telegraph is an agent which provides you some scrapers. These metrics are scraped or collected using scrapers. Telegraph has multiple scrapers or ecosystem of the scrapers or plugins that you can use to scrape particular metrics. Datadog is sort of whole ecosystem. They provide whole ecosystem. They provide database services as well as scraping services. Not services but softwares which you can install on your system and they will charge accordingly. But that's not the point of our video. We are concerned about how we are going to increase monitoring stability and monitoring solutions in our architecture. So you will have scrapers. They are going to run, let's say, after every 15 seconds or every 5 seconds. That is according to your configuration. They are going to scrape these metrics and send them to their database. Now this is the first level of monitoring that you will need. Second level of monitoring will be, let's say, if you have REST application, then you will need to monitor the API calls. For that, you will need HTTP level monitoring, HTTP status codes, right? 2xx, 3xx, 4xx, 5xx. Besides that, you will need latency metrics as well. So these are very basic level monitoring things that you need to collect. And once these things are collected in your database, you can use visualization softwares like Grafana or any other visualization software, which can basically collect or which can basically call your database and visualize these metrics in forms of interactive graphs so that you can get better view of your system. Other than this Grafana, you will also need Alert Manager. Now, what this Alert Manager does is it is going to subscribe to Prometheus database and it is going to evaluate some rules on this database. For example, if 5xx greater than 200 for 5 minutes. So if we have more than 200 5xx in 5 minutes, then it can raise an alert. Alert can be in the form of any notification, like it can be email, it can be SMS, it can be Slack message, it can be pager duty calls. So these are basically alert ways in which you want your team to be alerted when a particular alerting rule is fired or triggered, depending on the data that is scraped from your database. So these are very common things. You are collecting some metrics in your database, and over that you are using visualization softwares like Grafana, Alert Manager. They can be any visualization software, but for our architecture, these are important components that we need. And once we have these basic setups in which we have visualization tools, we have alert manager tools, and we have scraping tools in our arsenal, then we can move on to deep monitoring patterns. Now, what are deep monitoring patterns? When you have your application and you have first level of monitoring setup, so for visualization and alert, then you can move on to the next level, like you can start sending custom metrics from your application. So let's say you have different flows in your application, or first of all, they can be different flows. For example, how many orders are getting filled. This can be a metric that you can start sending from your application. So for example, you will know that you can get some metrics from HTTP 2xx 3xx also, but they are going to give you only API level metrics and API level monitoring. When you want deeper visibility of your system, then you should start sending custom metrics to your monitoring system so that you can visualize those metrics, and you can once you have visualized and you know what is the pattern of those metrics and what is the trend in those metrics, and on that basis you can start creating alerts in your system. So you can start sending custom metrics from your code. For example, let's take a very simple example. If you may have seen scenarios like if error, then you do some handling, right? Or if data is not present, then you do some sort of handling. Now, these types of scenarios are perfect candidates for custom metrics. You can start sending custom metrics from these portion of code. So you will get to visualize how many times you are going in this code block. Now, this code block or this program flow will be dependent on your application. You should not overuse this functionality, otherwise it is going to clutter your application. It is going to bog your application down. You should intelligently start sending custom metrics. By custom metrics, I mean, for example, let's say this was the scenario where a customer was not authorized, maybe. It is a very general scenario, but if you want to check whether it is some flow where unauthorized customer should not reach, and this flow is getting activated, and your this if block is being activated, you can start sending a metric like customer unauthorized equals 1, and this metric will be sent to from your application to a scraper, and from scraper it will be sent to a monitoring database. From there you can basically visualize that metric and you can create alert. So what you can visualize is how much this error is coming every hour or every second. And let's suppose you can create an alert like if this error comes more than 500 times for 5 minutes, then you can inform your team that maybe something is wrong. Similarly, you can start sending product level metrics. What are product level metrics? Product level metrics is, let's suppose you are shopping from Amazon.com and you must have noticed that sometime Amazon says that there is some problem with items in your cart, right? So you as a application developer, when you are sending this error to the customer, you can start sending a custom metric for this to your monitoring database. This way, you can visualize how many times customer are getting this error, and then you can basically create alerts on it. A very good example is Facebook Messenger. In Facebook Messenger or in any video call software or application that you're using, you must, after the video call ends, you must be getting this type of screen where they are asking for feedback on what is the quality of the call. Now, this is a perfect pattern for deep monitoring, where they are collecting extra metrics to get user side feedback of how their application is performing. They will already be having sufficient alerting, monitoring, and metrics in their system to let them know how their system is performing. But according to deep monitoring pattern, what you're doing is you are taking two side or multi view feedback, in which, let's say, you have some application and there are multiple stakeholders in your application. First of all, there is a user who is using this application. Then there are systems which are basically powering this application. So to get a holistic view of how your application is performing, you're not limited to collecting metrics or collecting monitoring metrics from single source. The single source can be application servers. You are collecting metrics from multiple places so that you can see your application behaving from multiple point of views. So I personally consider metrics as torches which you use to shine the nooks and crannies of your software architecture. And each different metric that you are sending, if sent properly, it is going to highlight your system performance from different point of view. For example, app level metrics which are collected from application is going to send you application view of health of your system. There can be metrics that you can collect silently from mobile applications of the user, so that how user is interacting with with the application and every other behavior can be impacted, can be monitored. And if some users are facing difficulty in sending the message, then even if your application is not able to find that error, your monitoring system or metric collection system from the mobile application can alert the engineers that elevated number of users or high number of users are facing particular error. You should check your system. Similarly, you can take user feedback also, so that even if you are not able to find any error from your application point of view, maybe certain users are facing some issue. It can be due to an ISP issue in a certain region, but it is also always good to have multi-view monitoring of your system, so that each pattern, each system component can be viewed from different viewpoints. Multi-view monitoring or multi-direction monitoring is the very core of your deep monitoring pattern. Once you start sending custom metrics from your application, that whether how many times a particular user flow is activated, how many times a particular product flows, there can be multiple products that are running within your application. There can be multiple workflows that are present in your application, and you can start sending metrics for each workflow, so that you can come to know how many times a particular workflow or product flow is being used and what are the patterns of accessibility in it. You may come to know that, for example, in evening a particular product workflow is activated, whereas in morning another product workflow is activated. So depending on this, you can take different decisions, but it is always good to have good metrics in your system. Now, when we say monitoring for an application, it is not limited to running application. It can be limited to any working program that you have. It includes crons as well. Crons are basically softwares or programs that run periodically or that are run via some user input, and they do their work and then they terminate. So these are crons. Now, crons are generally used for batch processing. For example, if you want to reconcile all the orders that were placed yesterday, or if you want to reconcile the user behaviors of all the users which came to your site yesterday, then generally in this type of scenario, if you don't have real-time calculation or real-time workflows, then you use crons, which run once a day or maybe once every hour or once after a particular amount of time. They do their work and they shut down. So in how you will think, how can we monitor the crons, or what is the monitoring patterns that we can use in crons? It is very crucial to have monitoring in crons. So what are the different types of metrics that you can collect from crons? First of all, if a cron has been run or not. You will think that you already have monitoring on cron failures in your Jenkins pipeline or any continuous integration and continuous deployment pipelines that you have. You may think that you already have metrics or alerts on job failures in that system. But it is always good to have, as I have said, always good to have multi-view monitoring. So even if you have monitoring where you're sending alert if a particular job has failed or not, it is good to have metrics which are sent every time a particular cron is run. So you're going to get a metric every time a particular cron is run. Besides that, you can collect how much time a particular cron took to run. This is going to give you a pattern of how much time. So it can be a pattern like this. And if, for example, in the cron runtime, if you notice that there is a steady increase in the time a particular cron is taking to run, that may increase, that may indicate that there is something that needs to be checked, why this cron is taking large amount of time to run. Besides that, crons are generally doing some piece of work. Now, if we can get visibility on the type of work, not type of work, but the amount of work that crons are doing. So for example, a general use case is crons take a particular data from the database and they publish it into some queuing system for asynchronous processing. This is one of the general use case that you can have. So if you have crons which do this type of work, you can publish the metrics of how much items or how much rows were pinged from the database and how much messages were published in your queuing system. This is another type of metric that you can publish. So it is going to give you the trend of how many items that were processed by the cron, right? So if, for example, let's say you are seeing a higher trend of the number of items that were processed by the cron, that can that should basically trigger some alert to identify why this pattern is monotonically increasing. Or let's say if there is decrease in the number of items that was processed by the cron, that should also raise an alert. So if everything is working fine, they are going to repeat the pattern, and if the pattern is not repeated, if it is monotonically increasing, or if there is any anomaly in the pattern, you can identify and you can repair your system before any outage. Here in this case also, where you are taking some data from the database, processing it in the cron, and then publishing it into the queuing system. So you can have monitoring at every level. For example, you can have a database level monitoring at like how much time our average query is taking to execute. You can have cron level metrics like how many items were pinged by the crons, and you can have queue level or messaging system level metrics like how many messages are present in your queuing system. what is the total size of the size of the messages that are present in the system. If that total size is increasing, then you should raise an alert so that you can curb the memory or disk usage. Similarly, you should also track what is there. If these messages are being published in the queuing system, then you should track what is the rate of consumption of messages from this queuing system. If this consuming service is your own service, then you should also track how many rate the messages are being taken from the queuing system. And if another type of alert that you should keep is if uh, rate zero error rate zero rate zero metric. So for example, if the general trend in your queuing system is to have messages coming at 5 requests per second, or 5 messages, or 500 messages per second, messages are coming to your system, and for some reason this rate drops to 0, that there are 0 incoming messages in your system, then you should raise an alert. This is going to be a very crucial alert in your system. If you have high throughput of messages coming in your messaging system, a rate 0 alert is going to save you from lot of trouble. So this was the cron when we are viewing our system from cron's point of view. Now let's see the other type of service that you can have is your consumers. Consumers are basically in asynchronous processing. You have messaging queue and you have some producers and you have some consumers. So this is a producer and this is a consumer, or publisher subscriber model. In this case, producers are producing the data and consumers are consuming the data. So for deep monitoring pattern, what you have to ensure is each component is having some metrics, and not some metrics but appropriate metrics, and each component, and they are basically complementing each other. So for example, you can send custom metric of how many messages are being published by the publisher. You can have a metric of what is the incoming rate of messages in your messaging system, and you can have a metric of outgoing rate from your system. And similarly, on consumers, which are basically consuming this data, you can have how many messages are being processed by your consumers and what is the time taken to consume each message. So this type of metric is providing multi-view monitoring of your system. So for example, outgoing rate and incoming rate in your messaging system are complementary to each other. Similarly, outgoing rate from your messaging system and incoming rate to your consumer system are complementary to each other. And if for example this metric is not being sent due to any reason, then this metric can basically save your day. That's why you need multi-view monitoring pattern in your architectures. Also, as I said, when you have consumers, other monitoring metrics that you can collect are the time taken to process, and rate of processing, and errors of processing. So for example, if you are facing any error when you are processing the message from your messaging system, then you can start sending error metrics to your monitoring system, and on that basis you can create custom alerts on your system. Also, if for example for different type of messages you are doing different type of work, or for some orders you are basically sending an SMS, for some you are sending an email, and for some sending a push notification. So you can send metrics like SMS 1, email 1, and push 1. When these metrics go in your monitoring system, you can make graphs like what is the SMS rate and with time, what is the email rate with time, and what is the push notifications rate with time. And seeing the pattern, you can create custom alerts on this system. So all in all, it is a very simple thing. Try to highlight different components in a system with multiple different metrics with the appropriate metrics, so that if there's any system error, it can be found early, it can be repaired early. So that's all for the deep monitoring pattern. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know your views and comments. Thank you and have a nice day.